Welcome back, Rockin' Bear fans, for What Do You Think for the 2020-2021 season. Glad to be back to do another season with Rocco.
Alrighty, Rockin' Bear are ready to roll, and thank you, everybody. Welcome back. And we're still going to be rocking with you like this. Ooh, it's so good to see you. See you. I couldn't wait another day. I missed you. And we're gonna end up with Alice is gonna sell hello hooray. Let the show begin. Ready.
All right, as the show begins, we're starting off with tonight's game. Houston is going to see Kansas City. So you said they'll have fans in the stands.
That's what they said. 6 teams are going to have fans. I believe Kansas City is one of them. I don't know how they're going to dole those out. There's going to be some fisticuffs.
We'll see. There's going to be a fight. Well, maybe there'll be some fights in the games. Starting this off, Houston they lost some tools. They lost Hyde and Hopkins, but they added Cobb and Cook. So they're probably going to run the ball, pass the ball a little bit more this season. Kansas City, they have a better offense all around and a better defense too. So Kansas City's my pick. 9.5 is pretty big. But
they'll win the game. Kansas City will win the game. It's going to be closer. But remember this: you got 2 man among men with Bosa and Debo Samuel, 2 animals that are going to really rip right through Houston. These 2 new receivers, Cook and Cobb from the Cowboys, should not be able to make up for their loss of their superstar, but I'm liking Houston to cover that one and Kansas to win. KC to win.
Alrighty, interesting. So we got the next game. We have Miami, who is going to be my first upset of the season. Miami's going to New England. I like Miami. They actually got 2 new cornerbacks, so they're going to figure out the pass defense, and they have 2 new running backs. They have Howard, the horse, and they have Burrito from San Francisco. So they're going to be able to run the ball and control the clock. New England, Cam, it's a big test for him.
I'm with you.
They lost 5 defensive players. Rock, what do you think?
Tannehil, believe it or not, has the highest QB rating in the NFL last year.
Tannehill's not on that team.
Oh,
it's Patrick.
Oh, man. Sorry about that, folks. First week. All right. Anyway, I agree with Matt. Cam Newton's going to be a little bit nervous. He's got, coming off the Tom Brady era. Yep. I agree.
Limited tools.
Straight out upset, and they're getting 6.5. Miami. So you might want to hop on that, some of you wagering folks. All right.
I have 5 upsets this week,
okay.
So let's see.
All right.
To probably win outright, let alone cover. We have the next game. We have the football Jets going to see Buffalo. Buffalo at home looks good. They added Stephon Diggs from Minnesota. They have a top defense. And I think Buffalo, they're going to go ahead and take the game. The Jets, it's going to be all on Le'Veon Bell's back.
Agreement.
Total agreement. Rock, what do you think?
Total agreement. I think Buffalo's going to win the division, let alone cover the 6.5 at home.
Alrighty, headed out. We're going to the Battle of the Birds. First Battle of the Birds of the season.
Oh boy!
Seattle is heading east to Atlanta, going to the Dome. Let's see how Gurley does with the new team. He's going to be in red instead of white. Atlanta, even though they didn't make a deep run, they still have the 3rd-ranked passing offense in the NFL. Yep. I think they're going to win this game. It's going to be a close one. Says the 1.5 points. We'll see how Seattle does with a couple new tools.
I'm going with who should have been last year's MVP and Russell Wilson. They've added Hyde as a running back, and they've added Greg Olsen, who's a little bit old, but he knows where to go.
Yeah,
and he knows how to block. So I'm going with Seattle on that one, and we're moving on.
All right, so we're different on that one.
Yep.
We have another bird. We have the Philly Birds headed to Washington football. No more Redskins, so that's fine. Maybe that will turn it around for them. I think Philly, this is Wentz. This is do or die for him. He needs to prove himself.
Yep.
Washington with their new guy in the backfield. They lost Adrian Peterson, so they're going to have a couple of question marks for me. I think they better win this game. They need to.
They better win this.
They better win by the 6.5. They better win by a good 10 points to make it convincing. Rock, what do you think?
I'm on the same page there. I think this is it for Wentz. He got all that money. Yeah, he's been hurt, so on and so forth. And yes, I'm with you all the way on that. Philly to win and cover.
I think he might not. He might do a little better without Foles breathing down his neck now that Foles is in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we got, speaking about the NFC North, we have Green Bay going to see Minnesota. Minnesota without Diggs. That kind of has some question marks for me. They also lost Xavier Rhodes, so they lost some of their big time playmakers. I think Minnesota's going to be a little run heavy this year. I like Green Bay to win this game. They're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to have a top ranked pass defense against Minnesota, who without Diggs might struggle in the air. So what do you think?
Here's what I'm thinking here. Okay, Rodgers not happy with his contract. Doesn't really like the coach. I looked on Cummings and Goings, and the Packers really didn't add anybody. So I got to say, where's Aaron Rodgers? So now they do got the running back. I think his name Adams.
Jones. Adams is their receiver.
Yeah. But Green Bay doesn't have a lot of weapons. Minnesota's defense is still pretty tough.
Green Bay lost Jimmy Graham.
They lost Jimmy Graham. Ta-da.
Bears.
Bears. So I'm going the other way. I'm taking Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, we're split on that game. We have Indy being driven by Phillip Rivers going to see Jacksonville. I think Minshew, Mustache Mania, with his second year, his first full year with the reins. I think they're going to look pretty good. I think they have a chance to beat Indy. Indy had a bad D. They did get Xavier Rhodes, who I just mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't think that's enough to turn the tides. I like Jacksonville to be upset. They're getting 8. I like them to win outright, Rock. What do you think?
Well, I like them with the 8. Keep in mind, Rivers, they just haven't had a full preseason, off-season. So Rivers is going to be out of sync. Jacksonville, you know what? I'll take the upset with you. I'll take the 8 points and the upset.
Yeah, I think Phillip Rivers had 20 interceptions last season.
We're really letting the dogs out.
Ooh,
so far.
Yeah, I have 5 dogs, so
the
dogs will be barking. Another dog I like is the Bears going to see Detroit. Matt Stafford, is he going to be 100%? He had a pretty nasty season into injury. I don't think he's the same guy. They did add Adrian Peterson, who's also on the later part of his career. I think with a whole new defensive scheme and new personnel, I think Detroit has too many question marks. I like the Bears to get the ball moving for them.
Yep.
I think what's his name? The quarterback, he needs to prove himself this
Trubisky.
season. Trubisky, thank you.
I'm
Trubisky needs to prove
predicting.
himself. What do you think?
Here's a couple of predictions. I predict. Well, the Bears start with an easy schedule. They got Detroit and they got the Giants. Now, if they're 0-2, Foles will be out there.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to give Trubisky a chance. But the other thing is, here's a new name for the Bears: the G-Men, Ginn and Graham. Can eat 'em up. Bears win by 10 on the road. Of course, there's no home crowd. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So win outright. Not only take the 3 points.
Bears outright.
All right, I have a game that's probably going to be one of the more interesting interdivision games. We have Cleveland, who has a lot on their plate, going to see Baltimore. They had number 1 rush, number 1 points per game, number 1 pass touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, he's going to be ready to go.
He's the MVP. Yeah.
He's MVP.
Yeah.
I think he's going to prove himself again in the season. Cleveland, Garrett's back off suspension. That's not enough to stop him. Baker with the new offense, the new head coach.
Yep.
Probably better off than last season.
Baltimore by 10.
Pressure.
They cover.
Pressure.
Baltimore by 10 and they cover.
I like him to cover. It's going to be an over. I think it will be an over. It won't be a defensive.
Ooh, you think Cleveland's going to put up?
I think there might be a lot of points on both sides of the field.
Is Landry back?
Landry's there. ODB's there. They also got Hooper at tight end.
Oh, they
have
got
a lot
Beckham
of
and
tools.
Landry.
They have Chubb. They're stacked. So
I have circled here the over, but I don't know what it is, so we'll just wait and see.
I think there might be a 20, 30 point a team game. It's going to be, especially after last season.
And they score on Baltimore. We'll see.
We'll see. The Raiders are going to see Carolina. The Las Vegas Raiders, no more Oakland Raiders, are going to see Bridgewater and company.
I'm taking this one first.
All right, Rock, what do you think? Start us off.
Teddy B gets a start. Once again, not enough preseason, not enough practice for a new team. The Raiders, Carr has the job. Mariota breathing down his neck. But the Raiders added Witten and that good receiver from Philadelphia, Angolar, if that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
He was their go-to guy in the last 4 games. And I think the Raiders are going to get a wild card behind Kansas City. How do you like that?
I agree. I actually had the Raiders to win this game. They are the 3-point favorite, so I think they might win by 3, maybe a touchdown. It's going to be an interesting game, to say the least. The Chargers are going to see Cincy.
I'm taking this one. All right. First of all, you got 2 quarterbacks Tyrod Taylor hits his first start. Burrows, who was the best player to ever play in a single college football game, these guys, once again, haven't had the time to practice. This game is a coin toss. I'm just going to go with Cincy getting 3 points. What do you think, Matt?
I agree. I think Burrow is actually well equipped with all of his tools surrounding him. They got receivers returning. They have AJ Green's coming back. They got their second round draft pick coming back, and they have Mixon, who's been pretty solid. So I think they're not just throwing Burrow to the Sharks. I think he has a good chance.
Okay.
And starting off against the Chargers defense, who gave up a lot in the air last season, I think will be a good kind of freshman showing for
Cool.
Burrow.
Cool.
The game, the South, the Bucks, TB, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady's Bucks going to see the greatest show on turf for the past couple seasons, New Orleans. I think the Saints will march in, and I like them to win a shootout. It's probably going to be the game of the week, in my opinion.
Yes, that's the afternoon
What do you
game.
think?
That's the afternoon game on national TV. Brady's been practicing off the grid with Gronk and with his other receivers.
Yep.
I don't know about the Tampa coaches, not Belichick. Brady's getting old. I'm going with the Saints.
Okay.
-3.5.
We'll see. It's going to be a great game. Probably the game, I know. Arizona going to see San Francisco. Arizona, they kind of flew under the radar. Kyler Murray kept it respectable. San Francisco, they lost some guys. I think they have a chip on their shoulder out of the Super Bowl. I like them to win. I like them to cover. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. Arizona has nothing to lose in this game. I think they have a lot to show it for. So
Yeah, they'll put some points up. San Francisco defense, as we know what they did to the Vikings and the Packers in the playoffs, but Arizona's not a running team. Kyle Murray runs out there and Kyle Murray, first week, sorry.
Kyler.
They're a passing team, so he's got wheels.
They lost to Johnson, so
But he's got the big boy.
They got Hopkins there, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, don't they still have Larry Fitzgerald?
Yeah, well, he's 40 years old now.
Well,
so
he's a man among men.
He's
Come
a man
on.
among men.
Come on. All right.
The Dallas Cowboys going to see the Rams. The Rams, they lost Gurley. He
was hurt.
They didn't really have the best season last year. I think they're ready for redemption. I like McAvey. I like Dallas. They're super stacked. They're gonna shoot. There's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a 40 to 36 point game. It's gonna be probably the highest scoring game of the week in my opinion. I like Dallas to win and go ahead and they can cover the 3 points. Rock, what do you think?
Well, this game's going to be interesting because Witten's gone. He's the motivational locker room guy. Stay in line, you mothers. He's been around forever. Great addition for the Raiders, by the way, which we've already mentioned. But candidly, no Witten, no Cobb. Cobb was never really great, but you could count on. Now they got Gallup, the new rookie Lamb, CB Lamb, and they've got, of course, Amari Cooper. Now you're going to have Ramsey stepping up on Cooper. Then you've got to figure out how do you block Aaron Donald. This game's going to be close.
It's going to be good.
This game's going to be close. And that's probably right, 3 points. I'm going to lean towards the Cowboys just because I live here.
All right. Monday's game is going to be Pittsburgh by Big Ben going to see the Giants. This game's not going to be the most interesting game. I think, Ben and Juju want to come back. The Giants, Danny Dimes will run, will pass, and they'll probably win. I like the Giants to win. At least get the 6.
Yeah, I like to cover, but I don't think you're going to beat Pittsburgh. So yeah, I like the Giants to cover the 6. The real Monday night game is Tennessee at Denver, and poor Denver losing Von Miller, the backbone of the defense. Tennessee, I don't know what the line is, but Tennessee wins this one by 10.
Yeah, I like that too. Tannehill's looked really good, commanding that team. And Henry, he got his contract, so he's got time. So at the final minute, let's go ahead and make a quick prediction. The NFC winners here. I like the NFC North, the Packers. South, the Saints or the Bucks, depends on how those two matchups go between them. East, Cowboys. West, the Seahawks. For the AFC, I like the Ravens, the Texans, the Bills, or the Pats. It also kind of comes down to a couple games, and then the Chiefs. Rock, what do you think?
All right, now, I don't have my notes handy, but I'm going to take the Bears. I'm going to take New Orleans. I'm going to take San Francisco. And the other division is the Bears, San Francisco, New Orleans, and week 1, 70 years
All right,
old.
guys, we'll tune in,
All right,
tune in
wait.
next week.
Oh,
and
boy,
we'll see you.
we're out of time. Thanks.